Today, Junior?
Did I stutter?
Poker face, poker.
Ladies and gentlemen of the
Jury.
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Did I Stutter? Huh? Maybe. We'll see. I've been doing a lot of these walk and talk rants, and if you came over here because of that, I'm really sorry that you had to see me exactly the way that I am. That's it's unfortunate. But that's who I am. It's a walking ball of fancy pants type anxiety. All right, I get real sassy with it. All right, and I apologize. Okay, better the blood be pressure than my life. I don't really know what that means, but anyway, this is my podcast that I do every freaking week. Okay, I'm here. I'm sitting in it. Yeah, I know what this looks like. All right, this Nana chair seems like I'm compensating. All right, for my potassium deficiency. So that apparently that was tough for me to say was deficiency. I didn't think this early into a thing I would stutter. Oh boy, let's get into tour dates because I do live shows where it's me and I'm alive. Guys, I'm coming to a lot of different places. Sorry, unfortunate pause. Oh man, let me tell you. I am going and coming to Alexandria, Virginia, March 1st at the Birchmere Music Hall. I might sing. March 2nd, the Sherman Theater in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. March 6th at the Orpheum Theater in Wichita, Kansas. March 7th at the Astro in La Vista, Nebraska, which is a suburb of Omaha. So relax, Omaha. Quit trying to be fancy. And then March 8th, I'm in Davenport, Iowa. And then March 9th, I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin. And then I am also at the Netflix is a Joke Fest in May. So get tickets at drewlynch.com. There's merch there where you can help support the podcast that way. And you can come see me live because you know, who are you to stay inside? All right? Fight your fears. Go out. Go from inside to outside to back inside, right? It's not that scary, okay? I'm not going to be performing outside, all right? So I'll be inside. In fact, why don't you stay home and I will come to you and you just pay for it with Uber Eats, okay? I'm very easily bought. Hope you guys had a good Valentine's. It was on Wednesday of last week. How was it? Did you make love and then penetrate it? I don't know how one makes love. I don't know how you make it. I know that it exists, and you could make love sweat. You could make it cry. And these are all things if you're doing it right. So that's what I would say is good about making love is that I've never been a craftsman. I've been a hoarder, so I'm good at keeping love. You know, I'm dependable in that way. But I'm not really so much the maker type. You know, like when teachers would wander around to visit my drawing and look over my shoulder, they'd be like, "Oh, that's not really the assignment." I got a lot of that growing up. Like, that's not really what we're looking for here. So I'm not good at making things, okay? But I am good at faking an orgasm. I don't know what I'm saying. It's very difficult to fake an orgasm as a dude. And so I don't do that anymore. I really commit to the sincerity of it. And I didn't want this to start on a sexual note, but what else are you going to do during Valentine's? Remember that when you were a kid and it was remember that? Remember the day you found out that it was Tines and you're like, "Oh, I guess I have to reconcile with puberty." I am forced into a different age bracket now because I say Valentines. Remember that? Remember when you were so young and you were just saying Valentines? You were just so innocent at that time. You know, right around 17, 18 for me. And I was like, it worked every time. I'm telling you, I got so many Valentines because I said it in a cute way. I'm like, and yeah, I asked my teachers, but who cares, And they didn't let it get too far, because they want to keep their job. So I was like, Miss Mendenhall, you want to be my Valentine's? Come on, adorable, irresistible, okay? All right? So find yourself a woman who's into kid fetishes, but not in like a legal petty kind of way. So sorry about that. Anyway, remember Valentine's? I'm just trying to casually move away from. Okay, all right, stop. Also, and while we're on the teacher subject, why are we firing teachers who have OnlyFans? Stop. Can we stop this? You've seen a teacher's salary, right? All right. So if there's a hot teacher and she recognizes that she wants some kind of pension before she's 98, then let her tickle the cuda, Who cares? All right, let her brew the coffee bean every once in a while for a good cause. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Hey, quit. But also, who are these people that are finding these teachers on OnlyFans? What is it, the principal who's wanking it? And just like, oh, you're... oh, you shameful. You flues. You hussy. You're done now. Nope. Once I see you're done. As on Monday morning. That's it. We can't have this. We cannot have this impurity. Like, I always wonder who's the person finding the teacher who has the OnlyFans account. All right? Why doesn't that person get fired? How about that? And I don't care if it's a student. If it's a student, I mean, they're just following their instincts as far as being, it's natural to be attracted to your teacher, okay? I've had some great teachers that I was attracted to, Miss Swaki, okay? Mrs. Fox, she was beautiful, math teacher, really taught me all about angles. How do you not have a hard on during that? Mr. Archibald, just kind of coy, nice, funny guy, so it's natural. There's people who are teaching you things, and you've got all your young stem cells, and and there's hormones, and you're like, wow, that's there's someone who's just telling me what to do. Ooh, I love it. And so if there's a student who found the teacher with an OnlyFans account, and then you blabbed, you don't know how to protect an oyster for shit, do you? You don't know how to mine a clam properly. It's for you. You went blabbing because some teacher, she's not trying to connect, she's trying to afford her apartment that's near campus. All right? She's a teacher. Look at her OnlyFans as educational. Strictly educational. Don't you think you're going to want to know some things? This wasn't even in the curriculum, and you're getting this. I think that's nonsense, man. Then okay, why stop there? Then fire them for fire them for having another job too, right? Oh my, look, unbelievable. She waits tables at night. I did. I had a teacher, Mrs. Dunfire. That was her name. Ms. Dunfire. Ms. Dunfire. Dunfield. Sorry. Nah, it doesn't matter. I was realizing that sounded a little too close to Doubtfire. Miss Dunfield. That was her name. And maybe she's gotten married and found love and changed her name, or maybe she's super progressive and she kept it. I didn't mean to out her. She was an excellent teacher. And my dad and I, we would go see her at her restaurant, and I would see her at her school because that was my teacher. And so it kind of felt a little bit sometimes like my dad was, paying for my grades a little bit. Like he would be like, listen, because she worked at like, I don't know, it's just the local saloon or whatever was in Vegas, where doors do this. And she worked at one of those. She came through the kitchen and the door was like that kind of restaurant. And it kind of felt sometimes like he was just like, here, appreciate you grading my son's papers. Okay. I can't remember how we got onto this. But fire her too, I guess. Right? Fire her. She's done. No. Or what, are you kidding me? What, you're just bringing finger-licking good fingers to students outside? What is this? What's this? What's this meddlesome? Huh? What's going on with this? No fraternizing here. None of that. Trying to make a wage? Huh? You don't like the health care that we weren't able to provide you, but still kind of compensate by giving you gift cards around holidays? Huh? What about last year's Columbus Day party? That was silly. In the teacher's lounge? You didn't appreciate that? What, you want money? Huh? So let teachers teach. They're molding the minds of let's fire the students then. Fire them. This should be a gotcha situation, hands down. That's what I would say. I'd be like, Principal Reed, I created the OnlyFans so I could, at the end of my webcam seminar, be like, you're supposed to be doing your homework. And so now we got him. We got him. But my Valentine's Day, which was my wife and I, we do this thing where we alternate planning for each other. That's kind of nice, I feel like it's too forced if it's just, I don't know. It's just it's too forced if it's like, we're gonna do this thing together. I think it keeps it spicier. If it's like, all right, last year was amazing. With what you did, I can't wait to see what you do. Well, I can't wait to see what you do. It's just it's a different way to take the time to alternate, showing appreciation for each other. Last year I killed it, by the way, and so this year, I'm actually very, very simple. I don't really need anything. And my wife my wife treated me in the best way with Valentine's because she did exactly what I would do every other day. She gave me the best gift with simplicity because I'm simple. I'm simple-minded, all right? I'm a plebeian at heart and in my head. And so we woke up, she let me work. I could not believe it. Like she let me do work. If I don't do work, I get crotchety, all right? And not the good kind of crotch. I get I just get surly. And so she let me walk and do a little skit and freaking write. Oh my God, she let me be a freaking creative. And then we had some breakfast. She prepared oatmeal for me. That might not sound all that fancy to you, but I like to start the day with a hearty bowl of oats, okay? It's sustainable, all right? I'm going to use that energy as fuel, okay? And also, I put a dash of honey in there, okay? So I did that. I had my honey bowl of bunches of nuts and oats and a bunch of little and my porridge from my porridge whore, okay? And she then proceeded to not sexualize me for a little while I worked, because she knew. We built tension through the morning. We knew what was gonna be. We knew what's happening. Ooh, things are getting hot. We're brushing and we're caressing. We're grazing each other. Just we're not cattle. Like, we're just grazing with our touch, like how cats rub. And just building that tension, building it, and then we rock climbed. Oh my God. She knew exactly what I wanted to do with these hands, was really just kind of get them tired and kind of develop early onset arthritis. And then she had other things planned that didn't work out because I got real tired. Because I'm old. I'm older than her. And not by like a Hollywood amount, but it's a good amount. Where sometimes she'll, she points to an emoji and is like, "What do you think about that?" And I was like, I think that's good. And she goes, "Yeah, well, you'd be canceled." And I'm like, "Oh, all right. I'm sorry, I didn't know. I thought the black prayer hands was cool." And so she is younger, and I'm older. I here's how old I am, is I don't have the core strength to fart. So that's on, that it just kind of falls out and is just kind of like, hey. Even my butthole's depressed. So she let me rest, and then she had this idea to take us to a cat cafe, which I like cat cafes. I'm not crazy about cats, but I like the cafes, and I like that there's cats there too sometimes. I think cats where you go visit them is good. A cat in your house, it just kind of feels like they're hunting you. They're waiting for you to pass away so they can get their death row meal, basically. So when I tell you that we ended up not going to a cat cafe because she told me that someone at the cafe called her and said that one of the cats got sick and has got like cat flu. And so there's not going to be cats. And so therefore the cafe is closed, which I've never seen that before. That's a whole other level of employees calling in sick. I've never seen something like that. I mean, right? That feels conspiracy. Like, it feels like they all kind of banded together and sort of orchestrated this, like a mass call in, right? We're like, "Oh yeah, I can't because I'm sorry, the hairball won't come up." Which is, so I didn't know that. I didn't know that there was cat COVID. I knew there was bat COVID. But I didn't know. Thanks a lot, Biden. I don't know what to say after something like that. It feels like when you talk about COVID, it gets political. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Biden, China, Biden, China, and Canada. Thanks for what you guys did for bat COVID. Now we've got cat flu. And great campaign, by the way, if we end up getting like the next strand of COVID from cats, right? Something like, we need to nip that in the butt, right? I mean, come on. That's just inevitable marketing. So I do hope that cat COVID becomes a real thing and just kills all the elderly cats. Okay, stop it. It's very serious, Drew. Stop. How about the fact that a bunch of cats probably got sick from licking their ass all the time? Do you ever see the way a cat licks its ass? Dude, I'm sorry. I don't want to be crass. about a cat ass. But this is what's happening in our society. A cat will frickin' it Hail Hitler's its leg and then goes right and it almost shoves its head into the valley of nasty, and is just, and then it shows you, and then it's like the way its head kind of, it's like it looks like a like factory style, it's not good. Like one day I hope to have a daughter whose hair I can brush as well as a cat can lick. Oh no! It's been inappropriate. So if you're listening to this, okay, and you're a noob, you fucking noob. Well, this is how weird it gets here. We'll take the time right now to say, guys, go to drewlynch.com and get tickets to my tour. I'm all over the place. This episode is brought to you by Drew Lynch. Here he is. Hey guys, come to my website, get your tickets. There's also all kinds of merch. You can support the podcast that way. And we're going to be dropping a new merch line for some podcast products, and I hope you like them. It's going to be just a grand old time, okay? Anyway, no more floor sex, okay? No more of that. Because we did that, all right? Sorry, it's getting a little bit, all right? But no more floor whoring. It seems right, but it's not, because your knees are getting all kinds of third-degree burns. You're looking at just the lint in the carpet the whole time. I'm like, when did we ever, like, I'm finding pennies. I'm like, when who has cash and change? This is strange. Would you take a bus here? There's just, it feels, like there's mirrors and and you're just kind of like, all right, like, yeah, the mirror part's hot, but I'm just looking at other parts of I'm looking at my face, and I'm like, is that my face? Is that like that filter that's going around Instagram where it's like you switch it, and it's like, that's one side of my face that's like that? Wow, this is how people see me. And it's just, there's little fibers in the carpet that are made of glass, it feels like, and you're kind of trying to get a grip, you both feel everything's like above you, so you kind of have like a Toy Story point of view the whole time, and you're like, now I'm thinking about Pixar movies because we're so low to the ground together. We kind of feel like we're both hiding from bad guys. It's just no more of the floor sex. It's all right in theory. It should be hot, but we shouldn't do. I just don't think we should. Now, ceiling sex, that's kind of hot. That's futuristic, and I'm an innovator. Okay, and I'm innovate in her. There we go. We kind of got there. It wasn't worth it, and also that's not who I am, so I don't know why I did that. But we're on the ceiling now. How about that? All right, and then we play friggin' Macklemore. We're up there. We climb ladders, Cirque du Soleil style. We're just kind of spinning and finding the web of our lust. Just we're spinning down like a spider. I think if spiders weren't so deadly, they would be sexy. Except for the eyes and the legs and the abdomen. But other than that, I think the way they move, it's pretty sexy, right? So I don't know how we get this ceiling sex idea off the ground, pun, but maybe we'll need a harness. I think I'm describing a swing. I think I'm describing a sex swing. I'm not somebody who is, I'm not into equipment. I think like if you start getting to a place where like where those people who are like, no, sex is a hobby, and you're like, all right, just why don't we not do, please, like just why don't you woodwork or something like that, or try skiing. That seems expensive and there's a lot of equipment. Do that, okay? But these people who are like, anyway, I got this new, you're like, okay, please. No, it's like a fridge. It's a sex fridge. So she opens it, right, and she pulls out the drawer, and so and you're you're inside the fridge, right? It's a walk-in, It's a walk-in cock, or so, something stupid, whatever they would say. Like, we're not interested. We're not interested in this as a hobby, okay? Find your childhood self and say to them, listen, just focus on sports or something like that, okay? So, above all, we didn't get to go to the cat cafe, and it was fine. Genuinely, she ended up letting me go to the cigar lounge. I freaking stoked a toke, dude. I love it so much, man. Makes me feel calm and present and like I'm Lawrence Fishburne, okay? Yeah, that's right. I'm Larry. Just kind of hanging out, just being like, red pill, blue pill, what you want? Life's about decisions. It centers me, okay? Yeah. I am white Morpheus whenever I have a cigar. So that's what she let me do. And the rest is just about the fact that we watched Love is Blind. And I love Love is Blind. I love it. It's my favorite freaking Love Blind show. Not a lot of blind people, but they do, and I think they should give more opportunities. But the fact that love is really blind, but blind love really blind. Sorry, I don't know what I'm sorry. I don't know what any of that means. I'm really sorry about that. But they just talk, they're, if you haven't watched the show, they're in pods, okay? They're in pods, and they just kind of talk, and they're not able to see each other, and that's how they're courting. And then in 4 weeks, okay, from the time that they start the dating, the first day of dating, from there until 4 weeks later, in a month, they are supposed to have a wedding. You're supposed to date around until you find love and have a wedding. You're supposed to propose in the pod, okay? Without ever seeing them. You're supposed to say, do you want to do this? But with a whole lot of, you have no idea how my hairline is. That's what Love is Blind is. And let me tell you something. I would never, ever do that show. First of all, I'm married, and that's a pretty big roadblock. I love her, and so there's that too. But I would never do that show out of respect for the girl on the other side. I'm 5'4". Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't. The moment that the reveal happened, right? The moment where they raise the doors and they get to look at each other. She would kind of be like, she would hug me around my neck. And then you have to walk towards each other. And I would get there so much faster because I have a little critter pace. Do you understand how what's the term? Depressing? Is that it? It's discouraging. It's demeaning. That's what it is. Not so much to me, I guess, but to her, if I found somebody in the pod, like if I found Mel in the pod, and we did that, we met each other, and I proposed and whatever, and then they had the doors that went out all the way up. The fact that mine wouldn't even have to go all the way up. You know, it'd be like a little drawbridge where it just kind of, you know, it went up briefly and then kind of went down, you know? There would be that door, and then it would be like one of those doors where there's another door inside that one, Willy Wonka, like a smaller one that I go through. And I'd be like, "Hello, I'm your significant other," you know? And then I'd have to do something like where we meet for the first time for Love Is Blind. They sit there and they hug each other, and it's, you know, it's very romantic where they're like, "Wow, I love your hands," and it's kind of really awkward. It's a very personal thing that the cameras are just in their face for. They're engaged. Will you leave them alone? They're now seeing each other for the first time. Okay, this is an arranged marriage that they somehow arranged, and I would have to like quickly, you know, I don't know. I would have to like wheel over to her in a not in a wheelchair. I don't know why I'm doing this motion like it's a wheelchair, but like a, you know, like an office chair. That's the best way to do it. I would sit in an office chair and roll out to her. I was like, "Sorry, I was just on a call. Anyway, it's good to see you." That's what I would do. Yeah, I would roll out like backwards too. I wouldn't even roll out where I'm crabbing it, heading towards her with my little freaking wiener dog legs heading towards her. No. I would do it backwards, like I literally just left a conference Zoom, because I wouldn't want her to see me standing up. And she'd be like, "Why are you in?" She'd be like, Is he paralyzed? Like, I don't think he's paralyzed because he uses his legs to push. She would have to be so on board with how business oriented I am. She'd have to be like, I love that he works a lot, but it's just, he's always in that chair. So I would like back up and have her sit on my lap, you know? And she'd be like, "Oh," and I'd have to do it in like a sexy way, you know? I'd have to be like, "Hey, you're the cat. I'd like to pet the cat now," or something. But in all seriousness, though, cat flu is very serious, and I really hope that we can just nip this in the bud, so we don't, so we can get back to our normal lives. Anyway, and so there's one girl on the show who, her name's Chelsea. She's probably lovely, but she just looks and acts like a Chelsea, and that pisses me off. It's not who she is necessarily. It's just that the way she is the way every Chelsea is, and that's what pisses me off. Do you know? It's the female version of a Kyle. Okay, you meet a Kyle and you're like, I knew his name before I met him. But Chelsea's, they're the type of people that they're like, where they organize your house. They come over and they kind of start work. They kind of like, "Oh, I think that would be better." And you're like, "Okay, why are you here? Why are you here? Just drop off my Postmates food and piss off, Chelsea." Right? I mean, a Chelsea, they're the type of people who they, like, I don't know. I think Chelsea's, this is going to sound so bad. I think Chelsea's think they're hotter than they are. I don't know. I'm sorry. Cancel me. All right? My middle name's Kyle, so I don't give a shit. And that's real. I was almost a Kyle, and my parents went with Andrew, and thank God. And then I was like, I fuck both of those names. It's Drew. It's D Money. And I'm literally sounding like the most Drew thing right now by being like, "No, let me, there's a discrepancy with my name. Meh, meh. I'm a Drew." Okay, so, but tell me I'm wrong about this Chelsea thing. You can't, unless your name's Chelsea, and you're writing a huge comment right now. You know it. Why? Look up from your keyboard. Look up from your phone right now. Aren't you? You are. You're right in it. Because you know who you are, right? Like Chelsea is so much different than a Kelsey. Do you understand? Wouldn't you much rather hang out with a Kelsey? Like, Chelsea's send their food back to the chef, and Kelsey's, like, believe in the 10-second rule. Do you know what I'm saying? They're different people. Like, Kelsey's will eat mud. They're the type of people who's like, yeah, just throw some dirt in it. And you're like, damn, I'll bet you seem like your room is dirty, but you're weirdly like hot. You know, that's what a Kelsey is. Like, okay, I'm telling you right now, in honor of this blind theme that we're going with, okay, blindly, you can put a bet on a fight to the death match between a Kelsey and a Chelsea. Who are you taking, my dude? Or lady? Sorry, sometimes I just say my dude. There's no gender to it. This is me being emphatic. You're taking a Kels. Are you kidding me? A Kelsey will claw you. She won't even. No. Like, a Chelsea will try to use her nails to get you. A Kelsey will headlock you until your neck is purple. Do you understand? There's a murder instinct with a Kelsey. Look at Travis Kelsey and Jason Kelsey, the football players. Those are cavemen. Those are walking historic pillars. We can't. Those guys eat only live venison. Do you know what I'm saying here? Kelseys will murder a Chelsea's in almost every single thing. You know, when I see a Kelsey, I think of a girl who can kick up a skateboard and grab it with her hand, and then she boards a flight. And you're like, wow, damn, you're taking your skateboard on the plane? That's pretty crazy. And a Chelsea is the person who always pushes the flight attendant button. And it's just like, hey, I'm sorry, it's a bit warm in here. That person. We're in a you know, and you have to, and I'm like the guy who's pretending to read a magazine behind Chelsea, who just says under my breath, well, then open a window, you know, like that. But physics says that that's inadvisable. I wouldn't recommend opening a window on a plane. Unless all of us are buckled, and Chelsea isn't. Is that too far? That's probably too mean. Sorry. Guys, I want to go to a section that I love doing on this podcast. Let's break this up, all right? Okay? I love this one. It's going to be a good times. I mean, I guess I don't love it because I hate that I have to complain because that's my resting state, but damn. Let's hit a That's My Gripe. That's my gripe.
That's my gripe.
What the
That's my gripe.
That's my gripe. Okay, this is my gripe is can we not have loud cars anymore? Any of these douchey 16 to 29-year-olds who think that the best way to a woman's heart is through her eardrums. Would you stop with the muffler and whatever you know, I get it that the I love yous from your dad was always muffled and under his breath, but why does that have to be taken out on your car? You know, and it's never like a nice car. It's never like, holy the latest Mazda McLaren 290 whatever. I don't know what dudes say, but it's like some souped up Saturn that has a lift kit and a trunk fin. And you're like, what? Like, what? You what are you doing? This is a practical first, like, this is when a dad surprises his daughter for her sweet 16, he's like, hey, here's a Saturn, and she celebrates because whatever, she can now go out with her friends. But not, you know what I mean? It's never like you went and bought a car. You went and you went and searched for parts behind a Home Depot. You know, like when they throw out, like a bakery, when they throw out stuff every day to make it fresh. Home Depot does the same thing with like fan parts, and there's like toilet handles in the back alley, and there's just friggin' stupid dudes on creatine who are digging through that. We're not impressed. Imagine trying to get attention from somebody with the loudness of your car. Okay? You could not be screaming more for a hug. We're not impressed by your car. No one's impressed by your car, okay? And if you are a girl who is impressed by this car, you don't exist. That's what I would say, is you don't exist, all right? I've asked every woman ever, and they're not. And so let's be honest, fellas. If you're doing this and you're souping up your car, and yes, I'm talking to every dude who's ever been like, man, every dude who's ever dropped the F-bomb in my comments, and not the fuck one, but the other one, where you're trying to be blatantly homophobic because you so badly want me to be a homosexual. That way you can help confirm the identity crisis you're having inside. Let's be honest with yourself, my guy. The only people who are attracted to your loud car, my guy, are other guys, my guy. So, let's stop pretending. It's a cry for help for your own sexuality, and we know that. That's why you made your profile picture your fucking car. It's because you don't have a personality, and so you have to try and express yourself with a loud catalytic converter. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's impressed by the fact that you can't pass a smog check, my dude, you know? It's a metaphor. You tint your windows because you're trying to hide who you are. I'm sorry. You know, this is a genuine laugh I'm having right now because I knew I was going to come into this just griping, but I didn't think I was going to hit it so hard on the Oh! I think it's because I'm realizing why in real time. That's what's so funny to me. But you know what's cool, though, is biking. That's what Europeans do. If you really want to bang, dudes, it's Europeans. You're not as good of a lover as Europeans are. And they bike everywhere, okay? They probably make love, or however you make love, they probably keep it or take it or whatever, on bikes, okay? You think that's what it's about? Are you kidding me? You think it's about the loudness and the emissions into the environment, you piece of shit? No. I once watched a dude in Italy with a bike basket hit on my chick, and she was into it. I was like, wait, hey, whoa! He's got like fucking bread coming out of it, and he's got radishes. And she's like laughing, and he's like, yeah. God, I would have had sex with that guy. Probably. I mean, I want to see what the picnic's about. Obviously, I'm not just gonna willingly go in there if he's just got empty carbs. I need meats and different mustards or good sandwiches, a nice like whatever. I don't want the park to be too busy. So yeah, it's obvious. It's obviously not. All right, let's go to France. All right, all they have are little tiny. Nobody's like. It's not that. It's little frickin'. Right, just maneuvering through the crevices of Paris, like he will do to your chick, my guy. Stop. You're hiding the fact that you have a protruding Adam's apple. All right? That's what you're doing. And so you've got decal and a racing stripe. and an Instagram for your car. That's my gripe. um. What up, team? I'm still going here. I got one more thing I gotta say. One more thing I gotta say. Look at that. I'm coming to the music hall somewhere on one of my tour dates. So maybe you should freaking check that out. Because maybe who knew that Daddy's got a good voice. Please don't call yourself Daddy, Drew. Let's go to another segment of ours that we really, really love. It's a bad vice. Bad vice. Bad vice. So every week we do a bad vice segment where I give out spectacularly bad advice. If you have any friggin' things that you need advice on, I'll do my best. So just drop a comment if you're watching on YouTube, or hit us up on social media. I'm always kind of posting, and I usually leave it anonymous. But today, at the request of the fan, who's a close fan of ours, Kate Gmoser had a question, and she said, "What's the best way to demand a raise?" I think the word demand is always really strong, okay? And let's face it, Kate, you're in demand, okay? And so if you go into this situation knowing that about yourself, the demanding will do all the work through its subconscious, okay? And I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when I say that, but you kind of get the feeling that I mean right now, all right? Do not demand, okay? Everything that you should say in a negotiation situation where you have your boss, okay, in his own room, you say this. You walk into his office and you say, "Hey, man, I've been noticing that you've been working hard." And he'll be like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, the fact that you're somebody who is so willing to put yourself out there professionally and then give back personally, that's huge. That's huge. And you know what? I want you to come by my office later today, because I've just been noticing some fantastic things out of you. And then your boss is like, "Well, you want me to come to your office?" And you'd be like, "Yeah, just come on down to my office sometime this afternoon. I've got a few things, but I'll be able to move it around." And he's like, "Well, okay, okay, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll see ya." Okay. And then while he wanders down to your nook, your little cubicle, or wherever it is you work, and you say, "Please have a seat. Can I get you something to drink?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." He's like, "All right, you sure? I got something. We have Smart Water." And he's like, "Well, how? Okay, yeah, I'll take a Smart Water." And you go, "Yeah, see, you would. I could see that for you. You're so smart." But I want to let you know that, things are looking real good for you. And you've been doing just such a fantastic job around here. I want to be able to, and this isn't official yet, okay? But I want to let you know that you're in a position to be able to, you have the opportunity to give me a raise at this time. And we're really impressed by that. We're impressed with we're impressed with the number that you're going to give too. It's incredible how you're willing to do this for just market recognition. I mean, it's worthy. It's of note, I would say. The work that I'm impressed with what you see in me. And the whole time he's just kind of like, "What?" He's like, and you say, "Listen, I'm not somebody who's going to demand anything here, all right? I'm in demand." And that's when you drop that line. And then, if that doesn't work, just ask everything like a question. That's always good too, because it's just it's a good thing to confuse your boss. That's what they want. They want to feel just confused, like an official treaty. You know, when you read a document and you're like, this, okay, so wait, New Orleans gets this, and then this is weird language, and they're like, yeah, I don't know why we write that way because it's not how we talk. You know, 1790s, 1800s, you get it. Just ask everything like a question. And you'd be like, hey, so Jerry? And he's like, yeah? And you're like, I think that it would be really cool if potentially there was a raise that was maybe added to my paycheck. And he'll be like, oh, he'll be thrown off because it is almost a condescending tone to ask questions all the time. And he'll be like, oh, yeah, about that. And you're like, no, I guess it's okay. It's just, I thought that I probably deserved more a little bit. And so maybe you would consider actually dumping more funds a little bit into, my account. So I would really appreciate that. And then he just kind of is like, yeah, I mean, if she's asking all these questions, I must have the answer. And the answer is a raise. And then what you do is you say, thanks for coming by today. And when he stands up to leave your office, you shake hands. And then as soon as he touches you, you take a photo with your phone, and then you go to HR and you say, listen, sexual harassment. And then he gets an email later that afternoon, and he's like, what the? And he comes back to your office, and he's like, what the heck? Kate, what did we do? Like, what was that? I was just shaking your hand. And you're like, yeah, but the number that I wanted before, it just went up. Or else this gets leaked to the Onion. Or whatever he reads, the Review Journal. I'm going straight to the press with this, Jerry. And that's how you get a raise. Anyway, guys, it's been a hell of a fun time. I cannot wait to see ya next week. Feel free to follow us on social media if you want. Continue to follow these podcasts, and go check out the website. I'm probably coming to an area near you. We love you guys. We'll see ya next